Hey y'all, it's Snoop Dogg, and you're listening to the Stories, Sports, and Sarcasm podcast.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever, night. Probably listen to this in bed, try and go to sleep. Welcome to the Stories, Sports, and Sarcasm podcast. I'm Keith. I got Jim and Bert along here with me.
Triple S Pod.
All right, there it is.
So, how's your week been, guys?
Rainy, wet, cold,
Yeah,
and dark.
yeah, it's rained here a ton.
Yeah. It's not been fun.
No, working
And
on
the ground was
working
already
on-
saturated. So
working on
Yeah.
wet ass cars.
Right. Yeah. Not good.
Good
Not
at
fun
all.
for anybody.
Well, I am still on water, dry January, not loving it.
Just
Kinda
sounds
getting-
terrible. Who wants
kinda-
to do that?
Yeah, I'm getting the bug. So,
Mhm.
bug,
oh yeah, I'm getting the bug.
like the Valtrex bug, where you just smear a little cream on it, or
No, I'm down here about every other day just smelling my bourbon. I can't wait. I got 20 days of this left, and it cannot be over fast enough.
Black History Month's gonna be lit, yo.
It is.
Yeah.
Was at Kroger today, and every once in a while in our Kroger, and I don't know if they do this in all the Krogers, but every once in a while in our Kroger, they'll set up just like this little table, and a girl grabs a 12-pack and she cracks them open and gives out samples. And she's like, "Hey, would you like a sample of this?" I'm like, "Yes."
More, please, more.
I couldn't. It was like one of those. It was like a Bacardi Breezer. It was like it was
Oh.
like a light. It was like a wine cooler light, and I was like, "Yes, I want one very badly, but I can't
Yeah.
because I'm going dry this month, and it's terrible."
Yeah.
You're not. So you're supposed to with this fast. You're supposed to joyfully do this. Well, I'm not extremely joyfully doing it, but aside from to you guys and to Heather every once in a while, I don't complain about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking Angel's Envy rye. Just so you know,
Ah.
it's so good. It's got the little bites, got the caramel flavor.
I'm gonna have to try that one because I don't like rye. So like I got the new
What is
riff.
that? Bert taking a phone call?
What? No, disregard.
So-
Yeah, I'm reaching you about your car's extended warranty. No? Oh, well, do you want to sell your house then? Okay.
New windows, maybe?
Yeah. Solar panels? Sorry. No, it was my wife calling. I felt like I had to at least tell her I was doing the podcast, which she you're still fucking doing that?
You could
Well,
feel
you're-
rolling her
you're-
eyes through the phone.
Your wife did not say, "Are you still fucking doing that?" Because she got so mad at I don't remember where we were. She got so mad at somebody that she needed to say something to him, and she called him a mother fudger.
Yeah. So a long time ago, she always calls me Jackwagon, right? When she-
Jackwagon.
so she stole
I
that
called
from Arlie
somebody
Ermy.
I called somebody a jackwagon on the ride home tonight.
So I went in her iPhone and I changed it to whenever she types out Jackwagon, it says "I love you, Bert Wall," and she would type it out, and I would just say something obnoxious, and she'd type it out, and it would change it to "I love you, Bert Wall." She'd get so pissed. What? The other thing I did to her was I changed it to where every time she typed yes, it said moo. So she would say something to her, like she was texting our babysitter at the time, and the babysitter's like, "Moo?" question mark.
So back to what we were talking about with the rye. I haven't had the Angel's Envy rye. I've had the Jefferson that I've got over there, and I don't like it. And I've also had the new Riff malted rye, and I don't like it. To me, rye tastes like and I've said this and it doesn't make sense to people, but it tastes like you have strep throat. That's what ryes taste like. They're
it's got
not.
a little bit more of a bite to it.
It. I don't know what it is. It's just I don't like them at all.
Yeah. I'm a rye guy.
Right. Did you like the Jefferson when you were here? Because I think you tried it when you were here.
I don't remember if I tried it or not. I don't
Well,
remember.
it's got some out of it, and I know
I'm
I
surprised
did.
you remember if anybody tried that.
I want to do a sports gambling bet on whether or not Keith is going to make it all the way through dry January without alcohol.
Now, I will tell you when
he'll tell us he makes it, but
no, that's not how it works.
he's kind of sketchy. So
I set my mind to something, and I can do it. So, like, I was after the Cinco de Mayo debacle at my house. I stayed dry through Memorial Day, which I know that's only like 25 days, but
should have stayed dry through New Year's after that event.
Yeah, that was that one got away from me.
So I checked it out. The odds of you staying dry through January are negative 300. So if I bet,
that means I'm
if I
favored.
bet $300, I get
win 100.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm favored. That's good. Those are good odds. Like if it was like plus 8,000, like what are the chances of the Titans winning the Super Bowl? Then
you are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing on your sports book now?
Heather and I are up just under $2,000.
Damn.
So I paid my VR off with it. So when I buy something, even though we have the money, I have to come up with alternative means to pay for it because Heather tells us how broke we are all the time. And she shows me our bank account, and then I'll slide my finger up and it shows our savings account that's got a lot of money in it. And she's like, that doesn't count. That's not real. Yeah, that is real money. But so I agreed that I would sell some of my bourbons off to pay for the VR. Well, we ended up making the money on these sports books that I yanked it out, and I didn't have to sell bourbon.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm probably even so far. Today. Oh, so Bert, you're the NBA guy. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know what team he plays on, but I like the odds. Dennis Smith Jr.
Okay.
I took the over at 6.5 points. He will score tonight. It was like plus 190 or around plus.
So
200.
this dude never scores, and they threw up.
I did look up his season average is like 8.5 points, 8 something.
Yeah, he's a career journeyman. Let's see, Hornets now.
Oh, he played in the Hornets?
That's a 50-50 because it looks like, January 10th he scored 2, but January 8th he scored 7, 6, 8. You got a shot at it, right? The last couple games, how much did you bet on it?
$20.
No, he's averaging 8.5 this season right now.
That's what, yeah. And then I took Michigan in the money line tonight. They were minus 5.5. So college basketball is a little challenging to bet with, but
yeah.
So
go ahead.
I did bet for the first time today live in-game European basketball. This no, basketball, not soccer.
Same thing.
Yeah, I guess. Not really, because they actually have time and rules and things like that. So I'm over there talking to Alex, and I tell him, hey, I bet this. I don't even remember the name of the team. It was some weird European name. So I did the live. It was I think there was 4 minutes left in the game, and it was a 2-point game. So I took the team that was behind. They had the better odds, better payoff. So Alex is like, well, I'm going to take the other one because he had lost $100 or $100 or something like that earlier.
He won like 1,000 right off the bat.
Oh yeah, he's playing with house money. So the thing with the live in-game betting is the odds will literally change as you're clicking it. It sometimes doesn't lock you in immediately. So the
Until
odds
you
will,
hit the bet button.
yes,
Right.
so the odds will switch. So anyway, he's trying. I mean, you got to really panic once you see the line that you want. You got to really lock it in quick. So he double clicks and ends up betting $100 on this game on the opposite team of me. I bet $5 on this game. He bets $50, or excuse me, $100 on this game because he was trying to make back the 100 that he had already lost. So somehow he finds the live feed of this game. And if you've never watched this European basketball, there's no announcer. It's like they just put the game on.
They just live stream it.
Yes,
You're
they
getting
just
the raw feed.
It's
right.
a guy on a cell phone.
Yeah, they just put the game on. There's no announcers. You have no idea. The refs aren't mic'd up. You have no freaking idea what the hell's going on. They're calling fouls. You don't know what's. A guy got ejected apparently in the last couple minutes while we were watching it. Anyway, I'm up. My team is up 6 points under a minute. Comes back. His team gets within one. They foul. My guy makes the first one, misses the second. So 2 point game. There's a few seconds left. They go down, miss a shot. The guy airballs a 3 to lose the game. And Alex loses $100 like that on European basketball. He had a beanie on, takes his beanie off, wings it down. I said, "You coming on the podcast tonight?" No.
So, I won shit ton on the national championship.
Ah.
I took Georgia with the points. I think they were 12.5 point favorites. Took them. I took them to score over 37.5, which they'd done by halftime.
Doubled that. Yeah.
Stetson Bennett to throw for 275.5. He threw for
Had that at halftime.
No, he threw for 291 in the game. Like his last drive got him above 275.5.
Yeah.
Throw 3.5 touchdowns and
So parlay, or was this all
a
individual?
parlay. And then the tight end, I can't remember his name, to Brock Bowers to get a touchdown. Paid $760.
Jeez. What did you put on it?
$100.
It's fun.
Yeah, like I said, we're playing with house money right now, and when that money's gone, it's gone. We, like I said, we pulled money out. We paid for $500 for that VR, paid that off. And I think we're gonna yank some out and go over to Hollywood Casino and play blackjack.
Well, that'll be fun during dry January.
When you take it out, do you have to pay taxes on it immediately, or how does that work?
Now, I mean, I know
You'll get
what we've yanked out. We haven't drawn tax.
Gotcha.
It'll be an end of the year tax form you get.
So I'm not much of a gambler, and the reason why is because I feel like I get addicted to things very easily, and I feel like if I start gambling, I'm gonna be working the other side of this hole to pay my house payment at the Speedway if I'm not careful. Right?
That is a Speedway bathroom.
Right next to Keith's house, right up the road.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a Bama shirt back there somewhere, but
I can see it. It is very addicting, especially the live in-game stuff because it's quick decisions like, oh, $5 on this. I mean, the national championship game, you could literally bet on the current drive that they were on. Like, will this drive end in a touchdown, field goal, punt? Like you could really lose a lot of money real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
So I ended up, one of the things that I'd done is I'd put a bunch of free bets on TCU. You know, just
You
in
still
case.
have free bets.
Well, I don't anymore because I used them all on TCU because I had to use them up. So if TCU had ended up winning the game, I think it would have been like $700 or something like that would have came to me. So what I ended up doing is hedging that out, and I bet 500 on Georgia to win before the game on the money line. So I ended up winning like $94 because they won.
I'm surprised it was that much.
Yeah, I mean, putting $500 down at minus 450.
Right. Yep. Fun stuff.
Yeah, it's been
What's the weight loss update?
weight loss. So let me do the math here because I am down 11.2 pounds. So 11.2 divided by 42. I am
Talk into the
down.
mic.
I am down 26% of a Grayson.
Okay.
Working toward a full Grayson.
Right.
Grayson actually had to go to the hospital this week, or he didn't have to go to the hospital. His mom took him to the hospital because he went
Easy now.
well. He went 12 hours without peeing, so she rushed him off to the emergency room.
She keeps track of that.
Well, when he's not feeling well,
Oh,
like normal kids, if they're not feeling good, it's like, hey, you still have to drink water or you're gonna die. Well,
right.
Grayson doesn't prescribe to that theory. He's like, nah, I'll make it. I got this. So when he won't drink, then she starts tracking his outputs. And he peed before he left my house, and then he didn't pee again until the next morning. And she decided at some point that he needed to go in because he wasn't drinking. And they sent him home, and he started drinking later on. He goes into meltdown. If he's not feeling well, and for any reason you miss a turn, he melts down completely because he thinks you're taking him to the hospital. That's how often she takes him to the hospital is if he's not feeling well, he melts down when you we were going to the grocery store and I missed our exit and he lost.
Not good. How's your weight loss going, Bert?
So since I started the weight loss plan I'm down 8.5 pounds, but I'm down 12.5 since I started December 5th, not drinking alcohol. I was at I'm right at like 199 right now, 199 point something.
Wish I was
So well, you also
You haven't been 199 since you were 12.
yeah.
No, I was a grown up. I was because when I raced karts, I would teeter between like 202 and 207. And I did that specifically so that we could manipulate the weights of the cart.
I saw this earlier, earlier today or yesterday, and then Bert reminded me a little bit ago that Malcolm in the Middle is an ARCA driver now. Did you know this, Keith?
I did. I knew that
Full time ride.
Is he running a full-time ride?
Yeah.
So I knew that he messed around with I think he's running an ARCA West series. I knew he messed around with some of the stuff like some Cars Tour cars or late models. But yeah, he's dabbling in ARCA, which I mean ARCA's terrible. They need to do something with ARCA. You go to like that ARCA race that we went to in Kentucky. It's not even
had dozens of people there.
had dozens of people. It's not even that. Rhett Jones, I don't even know who that is. So,
It's Malcolm in the Middle, Frankie Muniz.
no, I don't know who Rhett Jones is. I know who Frankie Muniz is. I don't know who Rhett Jones is.
Oh.
So you know how they were like 8 laps into the race and they were running into lap traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's to the point that there's 4 or 5 competitive cars and the rest of them are out there dragging ass around, getting in the damn way. Had a race last year at, I think it was Springfield. They run on the dirt over there. And a guy was drag assing around the track and he had a tire go flat and he was going so slow that the dirt stopped his car. And the leader ran into him and just wiped both of them out.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, but I mean, how slow do you have to be going that a flat tire, your car bottoms out and stops moving?
Right.
Family got back from New Orleans, but I've got a good story for you. All right. So last week we discussed my wife's 105-year-old grandmother went to New Orleans for her birthday. And, they took her around. She got to do all the cool things that she likes to do. their luggage was late getting off the plane. In fact, they still haven't got their luggage. They got in the other day and luggage is still not there. However, while they were waiting on their luggage, my sister-in-law looks over and says, Rebecca, my wife, Rebecca. And my wife at this point, you know, she's tired. She's like, what? That guy's not responsive. So she had to jump into action right there in the airport in Cincinnati
Oh, geez.
and rescue a dude. So he's not responsive. The girlfriend's sitting there and she's just screaming. And my wife's like, so is he a diabetic? What's going on here? Because she's not thinking drug overdose. And the girlfriend finally says, he was addicted to heroin.
One.
So airport security standing there, they don't know what to do. So she's like, I need Narcan right now. So they bring out Narcan, but they bring out like 4 milligrams of Narcan, which I guess is only half of what you normally use. They spray it up his nose. He pops up and he's pissed off because when you Narcan somebody, they're immediately pissed off. And he was up and around for like 10 seconds and right back down. So by that time, the paramedics get there and she's kind of running the show. And she's like, I need Narcan right now. They're like, cool. Right up his nose. Boom. He's up. He's pissed again. Like he's just furious, you know, because that's what happens with junkies. They get all pissy. They're like,
Yeah.
I paid $20 for that high. I didn't get to finish the ride, you know? And so they ended up, he ended up trying to walk away, but of course, police were right on his tail and they followed him into the bathroom. And then I believe they arrested him right after that. But yeah, so she ended up having to rescue somebody on the way back from her trip.
All right. Now I'm glad you mentioned this, Bert, because I'm going to play this from last week's episode.
At 90 years old, we took my wife's grandmother to New Orleans. That was 15 years ago.
Okay.
At 100, we took her back. We said at 90 years old, if you turn 100, we're going to take you back.
So what you said to your wife's grandmother is, we expect you to be dead in 10 years. On the off chance that you're not, we're going to take you back to New Orleans.
How many people live to 100? You know what she said after she got back? She's like, I can't wait to go at 106. I said,
so you guys are doing it yearly now.
Well, no, I looked at her. I said, don't get too antsy about this. I mean, that's making plans way into the future for you.
I'll get cocky.
Yeah. No, honestly, like I said, she's like the sweetest lady on earth, right? And it's all personality, right? Her entire personality has just been this Mary Poppins like person, and she doesn't let things stress her. I think that's why she's lived to 105.
Right.
And she's still trucking, right? Still going.
Yeah, there's two different strategies to that though. Is the you don't let anything bother you, or you just rage out 24/7 and live to 115.
Right. And
I don't know which one's more satisfying, but
well, and then Heather, she's kind of wound tight, and she's
really I hadn't noticed
yeah.
that.
she's
One night
she's
made everything all right.
That is a $200 plasma TV screen.
Babe.
Good luck paying me back.
So she's very organized, and she's like she's got a calendar, and it's astonishing, this calendar. I'm going to pull it up. So this is our calendar. Everything that's not blue on our calendar is what I put in. So everything on there is blue. I don't put anything down.
Yeah.
She's got on my phone, it all comes in blue. On her phone, she's got it all color coordinated. She keeps track of everything. I don't know anything. So she's super organized. I'm not organized at all. So I just kind of bebop around doing whatever I do.
You certainly do that.
Can't hear you, Bert.
Muted, Bert. I told you the day wasn't over, Keith, when you texted me earlier. Remember?
I said, does she keep track of your urine output on the calendar? Those are the yellow ones, right?
Bowel BMs.
Yeah. Those are the brown ones.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Time, temperature, and texture.
Yeah.
But no, like anytime I'm like, when did we do this? And like she can pull up when we because
Are
it's
your
like a
lives that
journal.
hectic and busy that you need a shared Google Calendar? I mean, it's not like you know,
No, I'll
you're
explain
a
to you.
real busy man, Keith.
The
I mean,
reason we have a shared Google Calendar is because if you called me and you were like, "Hey, you want to come up here on the 14th?" If I didn't have a shared Google Calendar, I'd be like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." So now
that
I have
worked.
to check the calendar.
That strategy worked for many years, Keith.
I know.
I don't know why you need to go changing that. You were a lot more fun before the shared calendar.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah,
Hey,
he
Keith,
just
we're
comes and
heading to
lives with
Vegas on Thursday. You want to go? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Bert, you have a special announcement.
So yeah, all right. So we'll type this up a little bit because next week is the announcement. Next week it's going down. We're gonna find out what I'm gonna start training for and what I'm gonna do with all that training. It's gonna blow your minds. In
Physical
fact,
training or is this work training? This is
no,
This is
physical training.
This is
This
Bert's physical training.
I don't I almost want to hint about it this week, but I really feel like
We
should,
don't want to undersell it.
we
so
don't wanna
so
understand- yeah.
Chad, what's his last name? Is he back? Did you hook up with him again?
Chad Van Sickle? No,
Chad Van Sickle.
no.
I reached out to him this week and he did not respond to me.
There's no way he has the same phone number that he had.
No, no, no. I
You're gonna
reached
get a
out
collect
to him
call.
on Facebook.
He's had 27 phone numbers since.
You're gonna get a
Yeah,
collect
yeah.
call from Marion Correctional. This is a collect call from Marion Correctional. Do you accept? Hey Keith, it's me.
Yeah. No, here's the deal. If I get a collect phone call from any correctional institution, I don't care who it's from, I'm going to accept the call because I need to know why they're reaching out to me.
Well, when they do that, do they say their name or it just randomly says?
Yes, it tells you who it's from.
Oh, well, if it's from you, I'm just going to decline it. You know that, right?
What a dick.
I'm not gonna be your witness. Click.
Right. Yeah, collect call from Marion. Jim, it's Keith. Please don't decline it.
I was with you last night.
No, no, Jim is not. I know that Jim is not a good alibi.
I will not be your alibi. I will turn you in immediately.
That's a shortcoming of me because I would be your alibi. I'd be like,
I
was
know.
it fun? Ah, fuck yeah, let's do this.
I know that I could have Heather call Bert. Like I could have Heather call Bert and she would ask, "Hey, is Keith with you?" And Bert would go, "Yep."
He's causing trouble right over here.
I would say, who? Who is this?
Who? Well, how about we talk about jobs? What was your first job, Jim?
My first job was I worked in the pro shop at the country club in the golf pro shop.
Really? I didn't know. The Apple Valley?
No, Mount Vernon Country Club.
Oh, okay. I had
Apple
no
Valley's
idea
golf
about that.
course. Yeah, it was great. It was amazing first job. All the free golf I wanted, free food in the they had like a cafeteria style and then they had the nice restaurant upstairs. But
You've been golfing with me. I could use a little free golf.
you could use a lot of free golf. You probably shouldn't even just golf. I think your club, do I have your club still?
Yeah.
They're hooked to the right.
Freaking Keith, I'm like, hey, you want to, it was for the fantasy one year we were doing before the draft. I said, let's get everybody together and go golf. And Keith's like, I don't have any clubs. Like, you are a 40-year-old man. Get some golf clubs.
I got some and they've been used twice.
Yeah. And they've been in my garage ever since. Unbelievable.
So that doesn't sound like too bad of a first job, though. Working at a golf course.
Oh, it was great. So so I got to see a lot of the city's doctors, lawyers, dentists, councilmen, just hammer shit-faced golfing. And this was back in let's see, 90, 92 when I was 16. So clearly before cell phones. So doctors be out on the golf course and they would, of course, give their office, hey, I'm going to the country club. If there's an emergency, whatever, call me there. And we had this one dentist or orthodontist in particular who was really liked his Miller Lite on a Tuesday at 11:30 in the morning. Really liked his Miller Lite.
Who doesn't, right?
Who doesn't? Watched him come in his vehicle, and we would go get their clubs out of the car, put them on the golf cart. That was the thing to do. So he's probably 12, 13 holes into his round, drinking beers. Phone call comes in. Hey, we need Dr. So-and-so. Can you go get him? There is an emergency oral whatever situation. I hop in the golf cart, find him on the course. He doesn't miss a beat, drives back, hops in his car, and takes off to the office.
Amazing.
I don't know. He had to have been a 6-pack plus into this.
What about you, Bert? What was your first job?
So this is going to sound a little odd, but
Were you putting wheels on Model Ts?
no,
Is that what you were doing? Your first job?
dude, I'm 2 years older than Jim.
Yeah, he was out there cranking the front of the Model T, winding the engine up.
Yeah, no. When I was 13 years old, I started roofing houses.
Oh.
Yep. That's it. It seems unreal, when I talk about it now, because I look at my 13-year-old and there's no way in hell he would get up on a roof.
Different times.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it and I'm like, was there no openings at the coal mine? How did I get started roofing at 13? Now, it's kind of almost come full circle, because the first roof that I ever shingled is across the alley from my house, through my backyard, across the alley. And it's a little garage. What happened was we got there at 8 a.m. and they put me up on the roof. Now, the company was owned by my cousin, who did not have multiple ladders. So they put me up on the roof to strip the roof.
With one ladder.
They took the ladder with them.
We're going to another job to start.
Yeah, they said, well, you can hop down if you want, but you can't get back up. So make sure if you have to get down just pee off the side of the roof. But if you need something, you only get down once, because we'll be back in 2 hours, right? So they came back in 2 hours. I stripped his old roof. I stripped all the old shingles off. And then we took the ladder, put it back up, put the shingles on top, and then I continued to shingle. So that building is right behind my house through the alleyway. I went back there to look at it recently, and I realized that at 13, I was a terrible shingler, right? I was not very good at it.
That is shocking. I can't believe
Quality control was not in my bloodstream at that time. So yeah, that was my first job, as I was roofing houses.
Nice. Keith, what was your first job? Starting cards for the mafia?
No, I got a job as a lifeguard at 15. I was a lifeguard.
Shocker.
Yeah, I was a lifeguard at a pool, right by the house.
As opposed to a bathroom?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why I said I was
a lifeguard near a body of water.
I was a lifeguard at the Sizzler.
So, Waffle House, as we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Or Applebee's, not Waffle House. For when people choke on their steaks.
Right.
No, there was a place down the road. There was the Moose Lodge, and the Moose Lodge had a pool. I went down there and got a job at 15. It was close to where I lived, so I'd ride a bike down there. I had lifeguard. I'd come home, and there was one particular
from guarding
weekend,
life.
Yeah, there was one particular weekend that my parents kind of quit being parents, like overwhelming parents. When I turned about 15, they were like, you got this. And then they would let me know. They're like, we're going to go to somewhere.
We're going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Here's $20. Order a pizza. We'll be back in a week.
Where they would go frequently was in Mississippi. There was like a riverboat down there, and they'd go down there and go to Gulf Shores and then go to that. That's what they did. That was their thing. They would let me know on at like 10:30 on a Saturday. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go out of town. Oh, when are you leaving? Now. Shit's already in the car. We're heading out. Here's a little money. Well, when they would leave, I would call like one friend. This is back before cell phones. You didn't send group text. I would call one friend. I'd be like, hey, my parents are out of town. Do you want to come over? And 90 people would show up at my house.
Nice.
So there was this one particular weekend at 15 years old that I had a bunch of people over, and we got into Aftershock and Avalanche.
Ooh.
You remember that? You remember?
Oh
that?
yeah.
I don't remember Avalanche. I remember Aftershock.
Avalanche was peppermint, same stuff, but it was blue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Got into that. Got absolutely shit faced, and then had to wake up 15 years old, hungover, and ride my bike to the swimming pool.
Why do, thinking about this now, why is it okay that 15-year-old kids are responsible for saving the lives of other human beings?
Well, that
mean,
day I shouldn't have been, because
15
I was
that.
like, I had the spins, and at one point I'm in the deep section, sitting on my lifeguard chair. I had my
There it is.
elbow. What the hell is going on, Bert?
Avalanche and Aftershock picture.
I'm not even looking at the Avalanche and Aftershock. Look down to the left.
Oh, Bert, what
Oh. All right. Hey.
What in the hell is going on?
Don't click on that ad.
No.
No, definitely click on that ad. I'm trying to click it on my computer. It's not working.
20 of the most epic beach fails you've ever seen online is what it's titled.
Can't wait. Bring
I'm
it up.
sure that will not be what happens when you click that.
Ads by Google.
That is based on your search history. That's come up.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so let's reshare here. So why this ad? Because I closed the ad, right? So why this ad? Let's see what it says. Ad may be based on general factors about the placement of the ad, agreed upon, information
collected by the publisher. That's information that you've put into Google, and they kicked it back, and they're like, hey, this is what he needs to see.
Well, maybe it's based on my OnlyFans page. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
I didn't see any feet.
It could be.
So, but this particular day, he got me distracted. This particular day, I got the spins sitting up on the tower.
We didn't vomit in the pool.
No, I leaned over and I rested my elbows on my knees and my head in my hand and fell asleep and fell off the lifeguard tower into the water.
Nice. Was that?
Then I had to make it look like. Then I had to swim over and almost drown a little kid to make it look like I was trying to save him.
Is that your last day on that job?
No, actually, I was a lifeguard there for 3 years.
Unbelievable. I wouldn't trust you with saving my life. Well, I guess if you're the last person on earth, I would, but
yeah, because he needs.
So if you're in a dangerous situation, I'm not the guy you're reaching out to.
Probably not.
Yeah, but you know that I get people out of shit.
You get. Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's like the parable of the monkey.
If you have to have somebody do something sketchy, who are you calling?
But I'm talking about what is sketchy about needing my life saved. That's not sketchy. That's
well, if you need your life saved and you're having to call somebody other than the paramedics, it's because you've gotten yourself into a sketchy situation, possibly through your affiliation with me. So I'm the best guy to get you out of it.
I have friends that are doctors.
That's true. We do have.
I'll probably make a few other phone calls before I called up you. Just throwing it out there.
All right.
Listen, if you have a dead hooker in your trunk, who are you calling first?
Clearly that's key. That's a key.
Yeah, that's a key.
Yeah.
The
What's that joke? How many dead hookers does it take to change a light bulb in a basement? I know the number's not 7 for sure.
Maybe like open the trunk, be like, Diamond, what are you doing in here?
So
Yeah.
our friend Paul, you
Oh.
said Diamond. Our friend Paul,
Dead hookers. Yeah.
now not speaking of dead hookers, dated a girl named Diamond. Was it her actual name on her driver's license?
Was he like, was he being serious or was this like,
It wasn't super serious.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean,
Probably a
To
whole
bring
lot
that up.
less serious than it would be for anybody else. But yeah, it was not
did
very
he
serious.
down at the Itchy Kitty?
No, I don't.
Maybe we
Honestly-
should go to, maybe we should all go to dinner with him and his new fiance and bring that up.
Mm,
Does he watch our podcast?
he does.
Oh, well,
Hopefully not with, hopefully he's got headphones in when he's listening to it.
I think he listens to it at work.
Oh, geez, that's a bad idea.
Well, I think he puts headphones in and listens to it when he's in between stuff at work. He's a finance manager at a car dealership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I announce my clown of the week?
Yeah, sure thing.
It's actually,
it's not me.
no. Well, Keith messaged me earlier today and he's like, what are we going to do? Bert's not messed anything up to be clown of the week. And I said, the day's not over. And then you come on here and mute yourself and start talking for 30 seconds. But
We
I'm,
should have just let him go.
but I'm still, I'm
The
still
Bert's
gonna-
best take of the week.
but I'm still going to give you runner up. Clown of the week is Nick Saban.
Okay.
Okay.
Nick
I see
Saban.
where this is going, and I can agree with you.
So they released was it the AP, I think, right? Released
Yeah.
their
Well, the coaches poll.
right. The AP coaches poll released their final votes for placing the college teams. This absolute douche votes Alabama number 2.
Yep.
Who did not play in their championship game,
Right.
who was not in the playoffs,
Right.
votes his own team number 2. Keith, I know you're an Alabama fan.
I am. Roll Tide.
That is the douchiest of douche moves you can do. There's no defending it. Don't even try.
No, not at all. Are they better than TCU? Yes.
I don't care. It doesn't
No.
matter.
I understand. Are they better than TCU? Yes.
Clearly.
Are they better than Michigan? Probably.
Yes.
Are they better than Ohio State? Doubtful. Are they better than Georgia? Absolutely not. So if he had voted them 3, I don't think we're having this conversation.
We are having this conversation.
Really?
He votes them anywhere in the top 4.
I see.
It's for
You can't vote your own team in the top 4 when you didn't
Well,
play in the
I-
playoff.
Okay.
It's clearly for recruiting, right? The higher ranked you are, the better chance you get a higher end recruits. Well, at least that used to be the old way. Now it's
Not that way because Saban's going to get anybody that he wants unless Ohio State or Georgia gets it.
right. But if you're if that's one of the deciding factors for recruit between Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama, where you're ranked is gonna be
where you're going to get your biggest NIL deal.
yeah, that's where it is
Yeah.
now.
I agree with you. He should definitely have not voted them 2. I can see an argument for 3, but no, I don't think he should have been up there.
What argument could you possibly make for this dickhead voting anywhere in the top 4?
Well, because I don't
Here.
think TCU should have been there.
It doesn't matter. They played.
I know
the
they
game.
were,
You can't
but
just
it-
magically say, "Hey, you know what? They suck. They got their ass beat, so we should be number 2."
We're better
No,
than them. We're
you
better than them.
lost you didn't play in your
I see that argument. I get it.
Neither did
I-
Ohio State.
I don't
though. They didn't
disagree
play
with
in there.
no, but they played in the playoff.
Right.
You can't just vote your
Where would you? Okay, if you had to do your top 5 right now, what would be your top 5 right now, Jim?
Now, no, what are the top 5 teams? Yes, what are the top 5 teams?
In order or
Yes,
just
in order.
Georgia, Ohio State. Probably Alabama. And I'm going to say Tennessee with Hooker. I know he was injured, but assuming Hooker's on the field, they're number 4. Actually, they might be. They got to be 3. They got to be ahead of Alabama. So they're 3. They beat him. Alabama 4.
Okay.
Then where do you put South Carolina?
The South Carolina stomped Tennessee with Hendon Hooker.
It's subjective, right? And that's
Sure.
really the matter is who was number 1, and it was Georgia. It doesn't bother me that Saban voted his team too. It's just what he does. He's a ruthless self-promoter.
I think, like I said, if he had voted them 3, because I do truly feel like this year, head to head, Alabama, I don't know that they could beat Ohio State. Now, with the exception of the fact that they would absolutely get out coached, but I don't know that they would. I don't know, even with the coaching, that they could outplay it.
As long as it wasn't a kicking contest.
Speaking of getting out coached, is there any
Either
fire?
team. If Alabama and Ohio State just go, they line up and they're just going to say, we're just going to
like
have
a kick scrimmage.
Right, a kick scrimmage. Nobody scores.
No, thing is Ruggles.
He was 19 for 20 for the year.
He was spot on up until that game. Like he did. I don't know if.
Go back.
Bert said 19 of 20. I don't know if that's a true number, but I know that he didn't miss many.
I did this. Go back if you still have the game on your DVR. Go back and when Ohio State.
Yeah, I have the game on my DVR. I watched it twice on New Year's Day.
Oh,
it was 17 of 20.
When they
look up Alabama's kick.
They called the timeout and they're waiting for Ruggles to come out. The camera looks in his eyes. The look of fear in his eyes before he went on the field.
Oh, you thought I didn't see that.
Oh gosh. He could have kicked that thing 20 times in that same situation and missed every one.
So 2022, 17 of 20, 2021, 20 of 21.
How many of those were under pressure though?
Oh, yeah, right.
Ohio State's rarely under pressure.
Right. That's look. I think that they should football in general should just go the way of our fantasy league and just get rid of kickers. You just go for, you got to go for 2 every time. Keep the punters. Punters have a lot of personality. They like to mix it up every once in a while, but kickers, no, we don't. Nobody needs that. It's not just that Nick Saban voted them too. This is a whole career of being a whiny bitch and then do the same thing that you're whining and bitching about other teams doing.
Well, right. He hated the no huddle offense.
Oh God. There's countless interviews of him whining and bitching, talking about it's dangerous and this and that. Guess what this douche does the next year?
Well, you have to do it to keep up.
I understand that, Keith, but you don't whine and cry and bitch and complain about other teams doing it to you that you can't beat when they do it, and then do it the next
career. So 22 of 26. So he picked 85% this year.
Yeah, which is within a percentage of Noah Ruggles, but okay.
22 of 28.
And then the year before it was 14 of 14.
Right, but 10 of those 14 are inside of 40 yards.
Oh, he still has like 7 more years of eligibility. He could shake it out.
He's a graduate, actually. I believe he is done this
year. Cade Stover's coming back for his 6th year. Now, don't get me wrong, love Cade Stover, but what else is he going to have another season where he catches 45 passes for 500 yards?
They need him next year. The quarterback's in question.
Again, I love Cade Stover. Kid's got a lot of heart, but it's time to move on, right? He's been in college 5 years.
Why? Let him live. Let him stay for Stetson Bennett.
Well, he had a baseball career ahead of time, but yeah.
And these guys Cade will probably get drafted. I heard of that he was the number 2 tight end if he would have come out this year.
Okay, why stay? If he's the number 2 tight end, that's probably a third
I
round
don't know
pick.
what these. I don't know Cade Stover. I've read stuff about him that he's a very family oriented.
Yeah,
Loves to go back on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he just likes, going to see his family. Maybe he's not the idea of traveling all over the country in the NFL is not real appealing to him.
I wonder how much his NIL deal was then. Maybe it was enough to keep him on the.
It could be. Could be.
Let's see. He had 36 catches for 406 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So Bert sent me a text message tonight. He said, "Hey, I'm going to go to Connecticut. I just bought a car. What did you buy?"
A 2005 Jaguar S Type. It's I like that year. I like that model. I have a Type.
And he's going to fly to Connecticut for it.
Yeah.
Now we had talked a little bit about it yesterday, and I thought he was saying that he was going to spend $3,500 on it, and he didn't. What'd you spend on it, Bert?
It's gonna be 6,500.
Wait, what?
For you.
What kind of car? I heard Jaguar. What model?
It's a
He's going to
S
pull
Type.
it up, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a 2005 Jaguar S Type. Found it on Auto Trader. It's from a private seller. So I literally have to go to Cincinnati tomorrow to pick up money from my bank because my bank's in Cincinnati. And meet a guy named Rob.
Why do you have to drive to Cincinnati?
Well, I have to pick
Get
up
money out of the bank.
Is the car in Cincinnati?
No, the
No,
car's
the
in Connecticut. So it actually works
what
out
the
because
hell?
I have a conference that I'm going to on Wednesday in Rhode Island.
Can you not just
So-
wire the money to a bank local and draw it out?
I don't know.
I'd rather do it the complicated way and drive all the way to
I'd rather drive
Cincinnati.
6-hour round trip.
And you talk about Jim needing CompuServe. You're the one that's driving to your bank.
You're sitting there in a sweater vest, talking about driving 3 hours to go to the bank tomorrow. Well, I guess not 3 hours from you, but still.
It's 3 hours round trip.
Sure, yeah.
It's 4.
Or make a phone call and wire the money.
It's fine. I actually since it's in Cincinnati, I'll mileage it off on my expense report.
Oh yeah. If you're going to Cincinnati, you got to go. Ah, shit. I can't drink. Never mind.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna have him go to Jungle Jim's and get me some beer, but it'll be stale by the time I'm allowed to
do some
drink.
spaghetti with chili on top of it while you're down there.
Ugh. That is a sharp car.
Yeah.
But so here's what I'm thinking.
Oh, he just left his tags on there for that picture. That's
You're gonna drive to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You're gonna drive back. You're gonna fly to Connecticut.
Yeah.
You're gonna drive this car back. You're gonna spend $6,500. That's an awful lot of time and money for you to have something that you're gonna run into shit.
So
your driveway key.
Oh my God.
Almost,
So we had, I got to tell this story before you say anything else. So we
all right,
had,
go ahead. I'm gonna get a beer while you tell it since I already know it.
we had an event. I got to wait for him to get back.
A beer, in quotes, a beer since he's
Yeah.
on dry January. Don't call it a beer.
Athletic, non-alcoholic IPA.
Yes.
So-
Listen, I'm not the one whining about not being able to drink. I've got my non-alcoholic beer. I'm pretty happy with myself.
So Bert, we have a bunch of people over to our house. If we say 7:00, Bert is there at 6:30 on the dot. So
No.
and the last time, the only reason he wasn't, I think, is because he brought his wife with him.
Yeah,
So-
my wife's the only person that's proud of herself for only being 15 minutes late.
So he comes to our house. Heather's car's in the driveway. I parked my car around the corner. So we've got a 2-car wide driveway. It's probably 2.5 cars deep. There's a kick out on the side for another car because that's where I parked my car. It was it for the
Dinner
Cinco de
party?
Mayo thing? Was it for the Cinco de Mayo thing?
Probably. No, it was before that.
I felt like it was before that. We've got the windows open. It's nice outside. We're getting all ready for things. We hear a noise outside. We look out the front window. There is no cars in the driveway. Bert has hit the rock that is 2 feet off of my driveway and pushed it an additional 2 feet. And then, so we made fun of him for that. So Bert comes over to our house a different time to pick me up. We're going to something. And Heather's like, I got to get my car out. Can you move your car over? So he backs his car up out into the road, re-angles it, drives it into the ditch. The left rear tire of his car is 3 feet off the ground.
What are you, Mr. Magoo? Jeez.
Bunch of dicks. So I almost hesitate to say this. This morning, I was taking Jacob to school.
Oh,
And we have 3 cars currently, right? I have one that I hope that my son will start driving someday. If he ever starts fucking driving, God, it's horrible. But I backed out and I hit my Mazda on the way out this morning. I dented the bumper in. So this morning I get back from dropping Jacob off. Now, mind you, this bumper is so beat up that I literally just pulled the light out that I had knocked out before, popped it back out, popped the light back in it. But this is basically a derby car.
I can't wait to tell Heather.
Yeah, I basically have a derby car.
He's hit everything but the lottery.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, that little car, I bought it in 2014. So I bought it in 2018 for $9,000. Had 13,000 miles on it. I put 100,000 miles on it since then. It's more than paid for itself multiple times.
He's put 100,000 miles on it and he's hit every corner of it. No, but Bert is going to fly to Connecticut to become a pretentious dick.
No,
You're already anticipating this by your outfit tonight.
You got to get one of those Kanga hats and wear it backwards like Samuel L. Jackson does.
I mean, like Date Mike on The Office.
Mike, yeah.
No, it's a car that I've wanted for a long time. I can just go pay cash for it, so I'm happy. You know,
Is one of your kids going to Kenyon?
with Steve Carell. Steve Carell actually went to Kenyon College.
Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter went to Kenyon College.
Yeah.
And when they would have the parent times or whatever, when I was working second shift, when I would come home, I would go into Walmart for something and I'd run into her. I ran into her 2 or 3 different times inside a Walmart in Mount Vernon.
Jamie Lee Curtis's kid?
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis's kid went to Kenyon. And when they would have like parents week or whatever, she would come up.
You would run into Jamie Lee Curtis, not her kid.
Not her. I wouldn't know her kid from anybody.
That's just fucking creepy, dude. It's like my teenage daughter. This random bald dude just runs into my teenage daughter. With Jamie Lee Curtis's money, I think she could have you.
Everything okay over there, Keith? Whoa.
Oh.
Hey-o.
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
I was reaching for something. I'll cut that out.
Were you reaching around for something? What? So yes, I am driving to Connecticut.
I didn't even get what I was reaching for. Shit.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
So yeah, I'll just tell you the story, right? Because apparently he's just off doing shit.
He's not even drinking. You're not even drinking.
So the S-Type is a car I've always liked, right? A buddy of mine got married in like 2002, and the car that they took them around in was an S-Type. And ever since I've seen in 2002, I've just absolutely loved that car. 20 years ago, I saw this car and I loved it. About, I don't know, 10 years ago, you could pick them up for about 17 grand. I thought that's, it's a little high.
Sure.
I didn't really want one that bad, but now that they're basically, I mean, that's probably one of the more expensive ones, but the condition of the car is just immaculate. It's only got 88,000 miles on it. I thought that just would be a fun drive, right? It'd be fun to have the traditional land yacht.
Right.
I don't care if I'm wearing a sweater in it or not. It's just
Pretty shocking that there is a Jaguar S class for sale in Connecticut, also by a private. I mean, it just seems so out of character for that state.
that elitist country club state.
Yeah.
I sense a little
lot of
sarcasm in your
Jaguar-
voice.
A lot of Jaguars and Volvos with ski racks on the top of them in Connecticut.
Well, I drive a Kia with kayak racks on it, so I'm from Ohio. No, it's just something I've always wanted, and I think it, it's just kind of fun, and it's not that expensive.
Right. Yep.
So we had pulled up some drunk Nashville the last time, or a couple podcasts ago, and one of them popped up on my screen today, and I got to read this. It's so funny.
What is it?
Drunk Nashville.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Metropolitan Nashville Police responded to the Hyatt-centric downtown Nashville hotel at 2 p.m. Monday, where 37-year-old tourist Todd Miller was due to check out as his stay had ended. Instead, he was reportedly extremely intoxicated. 2 p.m. Extremely intoxicated and had just defecated in an elevator.
Number one or number two?
Defecated is number two.
Oh.
In an elevator and was wandering the floors of the hotel while refusing to leave, including, quote, scooting his poop-covered butt cheeks across the floor like a dog, unquote, according to witness accounts.
Wow.
Does he have his own Urban Dictionary now?
I don't know. I bet he will here in a few minutes.
Something I've tried. Have you ever got, I don't remember where I saw this. Just go to Google, type in Florida man and
A date. Yeah.
the month and date that you were born, not the year, just Florida man and the month and date of your birthday, and see what it pulls up.
Should we do that? Should that be
Yes.
should we do that right now?
So while you're doing that, I've actually published an Urban Dictionary twice, I feel. So I'll share my first one with you. This was the first ever.
I've seen these. Hold on. Let me see if I can remember it before you bring it up.
Okay.
Shitulante is one of them.
Ding, that is correct. So shitulante, a vigilante that uses his or her own excrement as a form of retribution for those who have been wronged. Bert didn't appreciate the concept of an executive-only bathroom. He had to perform a little shitulante justice and upper deck the toilet when no one was looking.
That is a true story.
Yeah.
Published by Josh in Columbus. Was that you?
No, it's a good friend of mine who I told the story to. And do you remember the other one?
I don't remember the other one. I'm going to be pissed off at myself when Hobo Lunchbox. I do remember that one.
Okay. So Hobo Lunchbox, right? This looks like it's been updated. That's not my version of it. There we go. Oh, that's multiple people have written in Hobo Lunchbox. Hobo Lunchbox is where you shit in a bag and you present it to somebody as something that's in, oh, there's homosexual. I think we know what that's Keith, right?
Keith moves in faster than lesbians.
Oh, more random definitions, but that's where you shit in a bag and present. So how that came about was in a job interview, and so I waited the first hour, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll be with you any moment now, any moment now." He just had a meeting. I'm like, "Oh, Okay, waiting an hour. I typically don't wait for, I mean, if you're not on time for a job interview, I'm not going to interview you. And then the other part of it is, if you're to interview me, I'll give you like 10 minutes, right? But I'm not gonna waste my time, because that's just gonna have, that's how the rest of the relationship's gonna be.
Sure.
Right.
So I sat there for an hour, and they're like, "Oh, any minute now." And then like 10 minutes later, like, "Hey, we're really sorry. Just give him just a couple more minutes." So I think I waited close to 2 hours, right? Because it just kept coming over.
Oh,
I think they were waiting to see how long it would take.
yeah.
So I said, "Okay, we'll be right back." And I went to my car, and I grabbed a brown paper bag, and I pooped in it.
Oh,
I went into the restroom. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna use your restroom." Pooped in it. I folded it up neatly in the bag, nice and neat, so it didn't look any. And I actually went back to where I was supposed to be interviewed. I left it on the table, and then walked out.
oh my.
So I got a
God.
question. I did not know. I've not heard that story. I do have a question. Is what would the Urban Dictionary term for using someone else's chapstick on your asshole?
Oh, I don't, I've heard this story so many times. I still, mouth starts watering. I feel a little nauseous.
I actually made it into a TikTok.
Oh,
shit.
hey.
So yeah.
Not that she deserved it, but I understand.
So all right, where were we? We were looking up Florida man and then birth date.
Just the month and the date, no year.
You want to share first, Bert?
So Florida man accused of stealing gator from golf course, threw it around to teach him a lesson. Oh, he's got some scabs on his face. This is
Here's Jim's. Florida man arrested for passing out marijuana because it was Christmas.
how jolly of you, Jim.
Yeah, why not?
And then
Isn't she-
let me get mine. Here's mine. Florida man burns down apartment complex after the manager asked him to stop masturbating in the window.
He showed him.
Wait, is that Florida man or Bama fan?
All right.
So Jim,
Might push this till next week.
wait, it can't. We'll cut other stuff. Papa, revving up your engine. Listen to a howling roar.
Can't we just do that part?
Yeah, why did it? Yeah, we need to edit that sound.
The intro? Come on.
Yeah, we should be started. It should start at revving up your engine.
Okay, well, that's what we'll do from now on.
All right. Buzz the tower.
You motherfucker, dude! You're looking right at him.
I hate my fucking team.
I hate them.
How I feel with you guys sometimes. All right, you're
All
up,
right.
Jim.
Oh, that's a good. You know what? You saying that is a good intro to my Buzz the Tower topic.
All right.
In a fight between the three of us, who would win?
I would.
And
I'm
I'm
not
ta-
very
and I'm talking like 1 versus 1. So me versus Keith, me versus Bert, and then Bert versus Keith. Like a round robin tournament.
I sit in this
Or
chair
elimination
all day. I'm soft, man. I don't work with my hand. If I work with my
You're
hands,
just gonna bow out right off the start. You're just gonna curl in a ball when they ring the bell.
I'm sitting on a fucking heating pad
Oh my
because my back hurts. I'm not too proud to know who I am.
It's not about how soft you think you are. It's about in a no holds barred street fight.
Okay,
Who would win?
do you bite?
I listen, I tell
might.
everybody this. I've told Keith this. If we ever fight, I am grabbing balls, I'm kicking in the taint, I'm biting, scratching, eye gouging. Like this
Right.
is no holds
So you become a
barred.
dominatrix. I get it, right?
I
Become
believe Jim's
Keith's Tuesday
scrappy.
night.
Jim's scrappy. I do know that. Jim is scrappy.
I'm quick.
I
You
you are.
better keep me at an arm's length in a street
Right.
fight.
but I'm very dirty too. And I'm faster than you.
You can run faster than me.
Right. So you better run and
I
hope
don't think you
can't
can
catch you.
anymore. I don't know if you can anymore.
We'll have a street race the next time I see you. Just like you said, that's what you said the first time I told you I was faster than you. And you said, no way. And then I beat you by 4 lengths.
It was like 10 years ago.
I'm still faster than you.
Wait, do I have time to prepare? Because this is really important, right?
All right, Batman.
All right, yeah,
no, you
all
don't
right,
have time to
Batman.
repair.
No, this is not preparing. This is, shit hits the fan in a bar. Somebody disagrees about something, and we just square off.
The
I don't know.
problem
You're
is
you're pretty scrappy.
I couldn't wrap my head around like wanting to fight you, like actually. I mean, there's been times I want to just like push you over.
I want to fight you almost every week.
Yeah. Right.
But like if I had to fight somebody like you, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's going like if I had to fight like Jim's clone, who was a bigger dick than Jim, right? I don't know, maybe I give myself a 45% chance, a puncher's chance at putting him down. Keith, you're just too damn big, man. It's like fighting a fucking smart car. I mean, I'll be punching, but
I'm a whole lot faster than I look.
Listen, this is how I would defeat Keith. I'm going to reveal my secret. As soon as we squared off, I would just kick him straight in the nuts as hard as before he even knows that he's in a fight. I would kick him in the nuts. That's how you take Keith down. You square off on me, you're just getting a steel toe right to the sack, and it's on from there.
All right. I don't know what my strategy would be. I think my strategy with Jim, I'd have to get a hold of him.
Yes, you would.
I think if I got a hold of you, you'd be in trouble. But the problem it would be getting a hold of you.
Right. I'm scrappy. Like I said, I'm like a Wolverine, man. There's going to be teeth, fingernails, kicking, maybe some screaming, titty twisting.
I hear you scream like a Wolverine.
Come at you like a spider monkey.
I think you could defeat me by putting a sign in front of a hole that says craft beer. I'd be like, oh, there's beer down there. All right.
Bert, look at this picture of this Jaguar.
I'm good.
Larry, Moe, and Curly.
This kind of butts up against my big announcement for next week, though. So,
yeah. You better toughen up.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Okay. All right. It?
I don't know. I could probably beat Keith if I had my Mazda, right? I'd have to just pretend like he's the Rock in his front yard. And
$5 said if you were trying to run me over, you'd miss.
You are faster than you look.
So, obviously, the gauntlet's been laid down now, and Jim and I are going to have to get in another 50-yard dash. We didn't go 50 yards. It wasn't that far.
Well, I think we agreed to 100 yards, and then we ran about 25 and both gave up.
Well, we were running
uphill too. That was not a
running
good
uphill,
right.
which was a disadvantage for me because I was 240 pounds then. We were running downhill.
Yeah, you beat me fair and square. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying it was a bad idea for us both to run uphill.
Yeah. Took me a while to recover from it.
Yeah.
What is going on over there, Bert?
I was going to play the Family Guy race, but that wasn't.
We can play it from
Here.
Vacation.
White guys, go! I have high hopes for this. I had a Cliff Bar before we started. Everybody else! Thought they were coming after us.
Yep, we're cutting that out.
And we're canceled.
Thank you for listening. Next pod's going to drop next Tuesday, the 24th. For more content, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and Twitter. The links can be found in the podcast description. If you'd like to leave a message, you can go to anchor.fm/SSS pod, and we'll play the best ones on the show. You guys got anything else?
Somebody leave a message for crying out loud.
Crying out loud, somebody leave a message. Jim, you've got the link. You've been doing it for, oh, by the way,
Don't have
we
the
are
link.
anchor.fm/SSS
Oh.
pod. I just read it to you. I've read it to you every week. You can also go on our
Don't
Facebook
listen
page.
to this.
You can go on our Facebook page and you can leave a message through there. If you leave a voice message or a typed message, we'll read it out. We'll give you credit. We're gonna have a guest next week. Hopefully,
Wait, will you read out anything that I put up there? I mean, that somebody puts up there?
like Anchorman.
We're,
You
and
put
we're
it on
gonna
the
have-
teleprompter. I'm gonna read it.
there's going to be a highly anticipated special announcement from Bert next week. Also,
Highly
right.
anticipated special announcement from
Gotta
Bert.
toughen up.
You better, because we mentioned that if you got in a fight and you're like, I would lose, I would instantly lose.
I quit.
I know who I am. And my Jaguar.
You need to make sure you get Starbucks and carry that cup around with you while you're driving in that.
That's pretentious.
Jaguar.
Bert, pretentious?
All right, that's the best I could do.
All
Okay.
right. Well, Candias, honkies.
Yeah, hold on. Can you get a hold of Patriot Justice and see if he can come on the show
Yeah.
in a couple weeks?
Of course.
Who is Patriot Justice?
He's a blind man that has a lot to say about politics.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
See you next week. We're out.